Hey guys, J-Man here, welcome to my video. It took a long time, but today I will finally revive my Pick 5 series. You will notice many changes, but I hope these will help to improve the quality of this series. After getting a copyright claim on my Pick 5 chant video, I decided to stop including music samples. Make sure to check out the links in the description. This time we will talk about Screamo and 5 selected Japanese artists from the genre. To be more exact, we will talk about bands centered around Tokyo. Please keep in mind that this video isn't a rating or top list and the artists don't appear in any particular order. Are you ready? We will start right after the intro. Before we jump into the list, I want to give a short introduction to the genre. In the mid to late 2000s, it became a trend to label metalcore and post-hardcore groups like Bring Me the Horizon or Asking Alexandria as Screamo. This is a common misconception since these bands have nothing to do with the genre. Screamo has its origins in the early 90s when bands like Heroin took their punk rock and hardcore roots and guided them into a more raw and chaotic direction. Another milestone was Far with their album Tin Cans with Strings to You, which had this unique dynamic of calm and aggressive songwriting. The vocals on this record sounded very unstable, which was picked up by other artists and turned into the extreme. Eventually, unpredictable screams ended up as the genre-defining element. Late 90s bands like Shit or Page 99 took this concept to the next level. Their sound fuses the aggression of hardcore with this angst-ridden feeling of emo-core while keeping the rather simple instrumentation from punk rock. The newborn Screamo genre swings between post-rock influenced instrumentals with spoken words on the one side and furious distorted guitars, relentless drumming and heartbreaking screams on the other one. Some bands came close to the short song structures and radical brutality of grindcore, while others resembled the raw and desolated sound of black metal. To get a general idea about the genre, I recommend the following 3 albums: Shit, Dance Tonight, Revolution Tomorrow, Saetia, a retrospective, Funeral Dinner, The Underdog. Another important aspect is the do-it-yourself mentality. Screamo bands shy away from the mainstream and release very limited splits and singles instead. This makes it kinda hard to obtain physical copies, but it's just another reason to separate them from well-selling and fashion-centered bands like Bring Me the Horizon. With this out of the way, we will finally talk about my picks. You can't talk about Japanese Screamo without mentioning Envy. It took a total of 5 years for the first releases following their formation in 1992. However, album classics like All the Footprints You Ever Left and The Fear Expecting made him one of the most influential bands within the Japanese Screamo scene. Envy steadily grew a huge fanbase which reached way beyond the borders of their home country. So far, they released 6 albums, 5 EPs, 3 singles and many splits with bands from all around the world. Over the years, Envy added more and more post-rock elements to their sound, and vocalist Tetsuya Furukawa combined his iconic harsh vocals with beautiful clean singing. As a result, their song structures turned into ethereal soundscapes. Consequently, Tetsuya made a guest appearance on the track The Hand That Holds the Truth by the famous Japanese post-rock veterans Mono in 2014. After over 2 decades, they are still going strong, which was proven by their critically acclaimed album Atheist Konya in 2015. Sadly, Tetsuya left the band last year, which was the first lineup change in over 24 years. We can only hope that Envy will find a worthy replacement for his signature voice. Our next band, Heaven in Her Arms, is way younger as they were formed in 2001. However, I like to see them as a counterpart to Envy. They come from the same city and use the same mix of post-rock and Screamo, but their music has a more sinister and nihilistic touch. If Envy are the light with these warm and heart-filling moments, then Heaven in Her Arms are the darkness, filled with desperation and negative emotions. The high shrieks of singer Kent, the fast-paced guitars and the double bass drumming in some songs closes the gap to post-black metal acts like Death Haven or An Autumn for Crippled Children. However, most of the time they stay true to their hardcore roots, which keeps them more in the tradition of dark screamo bands like Funeral Dinner. So far they released 2 albums, 1 EP and a few demos and split CDs. As a starting point, I would recommend their debut album Kokuhan no Shinshoku. If you manage to get into these guys, you can look forward to the 22nd of March. On this date they will release their 3rd album called Hakun. After these rather experimental artists, we switched to the more basic sounding band Endzweck, which are around since 1998 and released a total of 5 records. Endzweck throw the post-rock influences from bands like Envy away and replace them with melodic hardcore and hard rock elements instead. Their songwriting is focused on more compact song structures with memorable riffs. Most of their songs are straightforward, staying within the 2 to 3 minute range, but they still keep room for some mid-tempo tracks and a few atmospheric breaks. If you look at singer Takashi Uesugi, you wouldn't expect this kind of emotional screams, but something about his performance sounds urgent and mesmerizing. Tender is the Night from 2015 may be their best work to date, with infectious earworms like Apathetic Expression or Before the World Ends. Endzweck released a couple of music videos which you should definitely check out. Also take a look at some fan recordings of their live shows, because it's amazing how they are able to transport the high energy from the album to the stage. We continue with Killie, which are another fundamental band for the Japanese screamo scene. They were formed in 2004 as a supergroup with members from bands like Black Line Fever, Umbra, Zora or Apathetic Disease. This band may be the most classic sounding screamo band on my list. Killie channeled a wrath and aggression in chaotic compositions, which are lightened up by a few melancholic and fragile moments. Their lyrics are very political and their releases follow the do-it-yourself concept with a bunch of highly limited and self-released demos, singles and split collaborations. Consequently, they played as a support act for many like-minded bands like Ampere or the Saedia successor of Minor. It has been a while since their latest release Ekorochi Okuwase, but the band is still busy with live shows. If you are new to the band, you should start with their fantastic Don't Want to Escape from the Underground mini album from 2006. We finished the list with our last band called Blue Friend. These guys don't have much of a history compared to my other 4 picks. Blue Friend were formed somewhere around 2013 or 2014, released a demo recording and contributed to a few split projects. In 2015 they went on hiatus, which makes their future questionable. You may wonder why I still include them. Well, in 2014 they released their debut album I Will Be Your Blue Friend, which was one of the best screamo albums which I heard in a very long time. Blue Friend combined the traditional screamo sound of Killie with the straightforward hardcore elements of Endzweck. To round things up, they throw in a few post-rock instrumentals like Aida or Musubi, which connects them to other bands like Envy or Heaven in Her Arms. You can clearly hear their frustration, but the album also shares a lot of bright and cheerful moments. All in all, a very solid record which creates a huge desire for more. Let's hope they will resume their activities within the near future. This being said, we already came to the end of this Pick 5 episode. Make sure to check out the bands and their music. As I told you at the beginning, you will find some links in the video description. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave me a like. Also, make sure to share your thoughts about the screamo genre and my specific selection in the comments. Let me know if I missed some of your favorites. There may be another part somewhere in the future. As always, for more content about Japanese music, you can subscribe to this channel or follow me on Twitter. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.